Hey ladies and gentlemen, Richard Kenobi here, and I'm back again for another DC animated movie review, and today we are reviewing Batman and the Harley Quinn movie. So this is a continuation of the old DCAU animated continuity. Where this fits in the timeline, Bruce Timm said it's up to us. So yeah, we can decide where this fits in the timeline. So yes, this is the 30th DC animated film. This was released last night in theaters for a one-day event by Fathom Events. Once again, thank you, Fathom Events, for this. Just like they did with, of course, the previous two, The Killing Joke and Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders. Now then, the question on everyone's mind, like, how was this film? I saw this film last night in theaters. It was packed. It wasn't that packed, actually. We actually had more than when I went to see Return of the Caped Crusaders, because there was only like 3 people, and I was one of them. So this was a pretty more than packed house. It was like 17 people, but it's a Monday. You know, not many people go see movies on a Monday, so yeah. But yeah, so I saw it, walked out, and oh my god, I'm so glad I paid a ticket to go see this. So yes, right off the bat, this will be non-spoilers. Even though I did do a spoiler review with a friend of mine, SS Ultimate Goku. Yes, I did a review with him. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. So yes, but I will not be doing a spoiler for this because the movie has just now been released digitally. So this will be, for the most part, non-spoilers. So with this being said, let's go ahead and just review this sucker. Not sucker, of course. So yes, overall, how was this movie? This movie was hands down better than The Killing Joke. Like, so that puts it to rest right there. And the Killing Joke is still a guilty pleasure of mine. So yeah, I know. So, but yes, my point is that this movie was definitely better. Now, was it better than Return of the Caped Crusaders? I wouldn't really go that far because Return of the Caped Crusaders had much better writing. But this was pretty much an action comedy, and as that, it was very good. Like, I was surprised. I went into this film just as a fan. I turned off my critical mind, and I just went in this as a fan, because I've always wanted to see a Batman the Animated Series related thing on the big screen in front of other people, and it did its job well. So if you don't know the plot of this, here's the basic gist of it, summary. Batman and Nightwing have to team up with Harley Quinn in order to take down Poison Ivy and Jason Woodrue, a.k.a. the Pharaonic Man. And they have to stop them from creating a virus that could turn everybody into mutated plants. Hybrids. So yeah, there's that. So yeah. That's pretty much the basic summary of it. And now, here's the thing. Again, now that I've had time to let this movie sink into my brain, I'm going to say this. This movie was very, very funny. Like, if you did not like how The Killing Joke was too serious, and it was very serious, you're gonna love this film, because this film pulls a complete 180, and it's an action comedy, and I think it does that very well. The execution was above average. It could have been much better, but I understand you can't always pretty much repeat Return of the Caped Crusaders, so that's fine. But this film was just, I don't even know how to describe it without spoiling it. It was very one of a kind, and if this succeeds, I would like to see them do more of these, but maybe next time have it be more like an older episode of the animated series instead of like this. But hey, we'll see. So yes, let's just talk about it. So of course, you got the cast for this. You have Kevin Conroy returning once again as Batman and putting on his Batman the Animated Series voice, getting back into this character, which we'll get into that later. You have Lauren Lester returning to reprise his role as Nightwing. He hasn't played Nightwing in almost 2 decades, so yeah, it's hard to believe. We have Kevin Michael Richardson as the Pharaonic Man. We have Melissa Rauch as the new Harley Quinn, and of course, I can't remember the actress's name who plays Poison Ivy. Please forgive me. I'm still getting over the laughter headache that I had at this movie. So yes, but that's pretty much the main cast, and all of them did an amazing job. So yeah, let's just really talk about the cast. As I said, Kevin Conroy plays Batman once again. But this time it's his animated series counterpart, and he hasn't played his animated series counterpart in over 20 years, probably 25 now. So yes, he got back into character very good. He played it very straight, like he always does. He just really, but in this movie, his Batman performance stood out to me. It was very good. He had great comedic timing. It's just amazing. It's pretty much like Justice League action. Like, that's what it felt like to me, and I liked on how they took that kind of approach to it. The writing for Batman in this movie is amazing. And Nightwing, I'm a hardcore Nightwing fan, as you all know, and I've been dying to see Lauren Lester come back and play Nightwing. And now that he finally did, he did not miss a beat. It felt like he never left. He plays the comedic timing very good. He plays the charming, talkative Nightwing very good. He's just very good as Nightwing. Like, I felt like a little kid again watching his and Kevin Conroy's chemistry as Batman and Nightwing. Like, they were very good. Like, they were the highlights of the movie for me. And, of course, the much-talked-about Melissa Rauch as Harley Quinn. Guys, if you had any doubts about her, if you had any hatred for her as Harley Quinn, then no. I'm here to tell you she was fantastic as Harley Quinn. Like, she did. There were moments where she sounded very similar to the original Harley Quinn voice actress, Arlene Sorkin. Now, I know whether you love or hate Tara Strong, I'm actually glad that she wasn't in this, because this was a chance for Melissa to shine as a new Harley Quinn. And as Harley Quinn in this movie, in the animated series continuity, she did a fantastic job. The comedic timing was amazing, mostly because she's been on The Big Bang Theory. She played it very good and very straight. Although, this is not the same Harley Quinn this is kind of like the this is kind of like the opposite version of the Mad Love Harley Quinn, like the opposite of that, and you'll know when you see this movie. So they push Harley into more of a sidekick hero role, which I know some diehard Harley Quinn fans, regardless of what you feel about, but she still is Harley Quinn. There's no mistake about that. So yes, her performance was great. I loved it. I got used to it, and I can't get her voice out of my head. So she accomplished a great job, and she doesn't deserve any of the hate. I say give her a chance, listen to her, and make your own opinion. But don't just, brush her off in favor of either Arlene or Tara. Give her a chance. Or even Hayden. So, yeah. So, yes, and the actress who plays Poison Ivy. Now, I was a little nervous about this one because, I'm a hardcore Poison Ivy fan, and I fell in love with the animated series Poison Ivy. And the voice actress who voiced her in the animated series unfortunately passed away in the mid-early 2000s. So, yes, but this new actress, who's actually no stranger to DC animation movies, she actually voiced Lana Lane in The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and Part 2. So, she actually did manage to capture that Poison Ivy-like feeling. She really did get into the character. She made it not only memorable to the original, but she made it her own, and I appreciate that. And she was just good. Kevin Michael Richardson as Jason Woodrue, he was pretty damn good. Granted, they had to really go for the D-list villain, because Jason Woodrue is not a Batman villain, and the fact that they brought him over to team up with Poison Ivy, I thought that was very interesting, because these two really don't get along in the comics. So, yeah, but now they were here, and I thought it was pretty good. Again, if you were just looking for a more serious villain, and it just being Poison Ivy, then you're gonna be a little disappointed. But I liked Kevin Michael Richardson. I'm a huge fan of his, so he did pretty damn good. I just would have liked to see him maybe voice another character instead of Jason, but hey, he was good. So yeah, voice casting was good. The animation was also good. Like, now, this movie and all of the other DC animated straight-to-video movies, they have a budget of over $3 million. And sometimes they've been able to show that money, that limited amount of money on screen, and sometimes they've been able to just kind of be in the middle. But this film perfectly recaptured the look of the animated series, the backgrounds, they even stuck to the time zone. I mean, it is kind of hinted that this has modern day things like cell phones, smartphones, modern day infrastructures. So again, it does have hints of modern day, but it keeps it in the time zone of in the time zone. I shouldn't say time zone. It keeps it in the same continuity as it was established in the animated series. So it looks like the animated series, even down to the buildings and the architecture. It's almost like Eric Radomski came back and did the background animation for this, which, again, it's just very puzzling. So if you look at this film and you took a snapshot of it, it looks like something from the animated series. So bravo for that. The character designs were very classic Bruce Timm. Although there were times where, again, like in the clips I've watched, Batman kind of has like a mixed thing with his costume going on. Like, it's mostly blue. Like, it's a combination of his Justice League and Season 4 outfit. But then when I watched this in the film, like on the big screen, that color was gone. So it was mostly black and gray. So I'm curious if something was wrong with the film stock or the color grading, or is this actually how the movie's gonna look? Because I don't know. Like, if you get it on digital, let me know how it looks, because I seriously want to know what happened. Yeah, but there are moments where Batman's face changes, like his ears are inconsistent, and his face just changes. So it does look like the animated series, but again, if they had a higher budget, they would have been able to keep it more consistent. But again, it's passable, it does its job, and it looks phenomenal. So no complaints here. Like, animation is just spot on. Now, the music. At first, last night, I liked it, but looking back on it, I really would have liked it if maybe they would have done some songs that are reminiscent of of Shirley Walker and Danny Elfman from the older seasons, because again, this film goes for a more upbeat kind of jazz thing and uses some, music from here and the now or back then. So it would have just been nice if maybe they could have had something that is in the style of Shirley Walker, but no such thing. So yeah, music was pretty good. And then finally, the biggest part is the comedy. The comedy was very surprisingly good. I and 17 other people laughed out loud. Like, legitimately laughed out loud. The comedy was very surprising. Now, it does have sex references, sex humor. There's even a kind of sex scene, but not really. Don't worry, it's not pulling a Killing Joke. Although it thinks it almost does, but, whatever. And then you have fart jokes. You have fart jokes in a Batman the Animated Series related to it. But trust me, most of it is pretty funny, and if you could just turn off your brain, and if you don't feel like these are forced, you will laugh. They legitimately got me to laugh out loud at some of these, and I thought that was pretty good. It's almost like I was under the laughing gas effects, but yeah, very good. So, yeah, and the songs, there were actually songs in this, they were pretty good. Like, the whole comedy of this, I really want to spoil it, but I can't. You just have to see the film to believe it. And I just gotta say, like, I was just happy with the comedy. And it's not too serious, but there are some serious moments here and there, but it does find a way to try and balance it, but it doesn't fully capture it the way Return of the Caped Crusaders did, because the way Return of the Caped Crusaders did its humor and serious moments, it made it feel natural. And this film, it's kind of having to sometimes sacrifice one over the other, or sometimes it can do both properly balanced, but other times the pacing is just you know, everything is all over the place sometimes, but that's not, it didn't drive anything down for me, so, yeah, that's pretty much it, but overall, like, again, I wish I could spoil it, but trust me, the ending also, too, surprised a lot of us. The ending kind of goes, they said this was gonna go in an unpredictable way that fans would not think it would go. And they were right. There is a twist ending in this, so I won't spoil it, but holy shit, I never thought this would happen. It literally felt like the ending of a Family Guy episode, an older season, so yeah. Overall, this film was pretty damn good. Like, as a fan of the animated series, I've been waiting to see this style come back. And the fact that they were able to mix the humor of the 60s and modern day stuff with the Batman the Animated Series world and characters, very surprising. I like that. You know, but it could have been executed even more better, because some fans will either like this or not like this. It's your call. So, yeah, as a fan, I was happy. I literally had an amazing time with this film. It's similar to my experiences with Deadpool. Like, I'm not saying this film is like that, but I'm just saying, like, the experience I had, it was similar to that. So, yeah, it entertained me. I can't wait to see it again and laugh out loud, and I loved it. But as a critic, I would have to say it's an above-average film that is very well animated, very well voice acted. The jokes are very funny when they can be. There are some pretty serious moments, but it's not what we all wanted to see from the critically acclaimed The Animated Series, but it does its job well, and it is better than The Killing Joke, and it's probably in the middle right now, if I had to say. So, yeah, as a final recommendation, I gave this to the film last night, and I'm going to give it to it here. This film gets a solid 8.5 out of 10. You know, it's not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, nor is it a perfect film, but as a comedy, an action-packed comedy that Bruce Timm said this film is like the animated Batman version of 48 Hours, you know, with Nick Nolte and, yeah, like, I'm really old when the fact that I just remembered that film. So, yeah, it's kind of like 48 Hours with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. I was just, can't believe I said that. So, yeah. So, it is like that, you know, but, you know, like I said, you guys tell me what you think, and I would love to hear your guys' opinion. So, yeah, for me, it's not a masterpiece. It's not a perfect film, but it does an amazing job. It's worth watching, for me at least. I don't know about you guys, but let me know down below. What did you think of this film? If you have already seen it, did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of Harley Quinn? And like, do you think Melissa Rauch did a great job and she should come back as Harley Quinn? Like, what are your guys' overall thoughts on this film? Let's get a discussion going. I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And, yeah. And also, too, if you enjoyed this review, then please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know again what you think. And you can buy the Batman and Harley Quinn, the animated film. You can buy it right now on digital for only 20 bucks. The physical copy comes out in 2 weeks. So, yeah. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Richard Kenobi saying, may the Force be with you. I'll see you later, my fellow Batman fans.